if you're a young American and you go to Africa, you've got vastly better connections and more knowledge and more money and more of everything than the locals do. And that puts you at the high end. And there are very few countries in Africa that if I wanted to now, if I went there, I couldn't be sitting down with the president or preferably the military dictator. They're much better within a week or 10 days, 2 weeks. And why would I want to sit down with the thug, a hardened criminal? Because that's been my hobby for the last 35 years, not sitting down with these goofballs, but pitching a plan to radically free marketize their country. In other words, by disbanding the government and replacing all government assets, parastatals, land, everything, with shares in a company and distributing those shares pro rata to every man, woman, and child in the country. Well, not quite pro rata. We'd give 10% to the next generation in trust when after their parents eventually piss away their money and buy Toyotas. That would be one thing that would be done. And 10% would be taken public in major capital markets to get capital into the country. And 10% would be used to smooth the way for people whose doggy dishes would be broken by the breaking of the government. Got to get them on side because it's better. You can't steal money the way Mugabe and Mobutu and Marcos and all those guys used to do anymore. It's much harder these days. So you got to make it legitimate. They've got to have real legitimate money. And I got interesting stories about meeting with, these kind of guys all over the world, trying to free marketize their country, and basically approach the guy after I get the appointment, which is not that hard to do, actually. I mean, Jimmy Rogers has done the same kind of thing.
Yes,
he has, but he's never had a plan to pitch to these guys. He was mainly doing it because it was a goof. It was fun, which it is. But I had a plan, and my plan was to approach them. I'd say 3 things. Look, I can do 3 things for you. Number 1, I can make you legitimately rich, so you can actually spend your money in Paris legitimately. Oh, okay, tell me more. Second, I'll make it that people love you, and that's a lot better than always worrying about somebody coming up with 45 to the back of the head for you. And the third thing, I'll make you internationally famous in a good way. You'll be on all the front covers, not as a criminal like Idi Amin, but as a good guy. So I always got a hearing, and some of the stories that I could tell you about countries where I've done that are actually, but I'd never gotten anywhere for perfectly.
No, they'll never go through with it.
They'll never go through, but they were fun. It was fun. It was fun trying. It was exciting when I could delude myself that, God, maybe these people will actually try something different. I mean, look, they bought every other shitty idea that came down the road from Europe and America. I mean, they bought Marxism for one thing. Why shouldn't they buy from me?